Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today the Astros had a terrible loss. Terrible is an understatement. It was pitiful, embarrassing. 7-6, up 5-0. Going into the eighth inning, the Mariners scored 4 runs in the eighth inning off of Randy Arozarena grand slam. The Astros were able to score another run in the ninth inning to make it a 2-run lead. Normally, things would be okay, but Josh Hader yesterday threw 22 pitches, pitching 2 innings, and not only did he throw 22 pitches yesterday, but on Sunday for the Astros, Josh Hader threw 28. So 50 pitches since Sunday for Josh Hader. He's not going to be available in a situation like this. You wish he would be available, but nope. You had to go to Brian Abreu in the ninth inning, and he gives up 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks in the ninth inning, and the Mariners walk it off on a Arozarena RBI walk. And Arozarena in the final 2 innings hits hits a grand slam and an RBI walk. The Astros should have never been in the position they were in the first place, but at the same time, I will say this is one thing I will say, and I'm not trying to, like I said, there's no excuses for this loss that were made, but the umpire did make a terrible call off of a Mitch Garver walk in the ninth inning. Was a thrown. It should have been a strike 3 for Brian Abreu, and which would have been the second out in that inning for the Astros. And instead, that was a walk that loaded the bases, and the bases were loaded with 1 out. Next thing we see is a fielder's choice for Cal Riley, and that they threw the runner out at home, and then there was the bases loaded with 2 outs. And then Randy Arozarena, gets the walk for the RBI walk-off. And if the right call would have been made, strike 3 on Mitch Garver, 2 outs, then the fielder's choice for Cal Riley, that would have ended the ballgame. But I talk about how that should have been, that call should have been made for the Astros, and the Astros would have won the ballgame. Even talking about that, the Astros still should have never been in that situation. They should have never gotten to the point where Seattle scored 4 runs in the 8th inning like they did with the grand slam, or get into the position in the 9th inning that they were in. It should have never. None of that should have happened. So yes, maybe the umpires did miss that call, miss that strike 3 call, and the Astros would have won this game if that happened. But yeah, I mean, still, the Astros should have never been in that situation. And this is a loss where you look at it and you say the offense was great today. The offense might have been the best they've been all season in a game. I think so. And, scored 6 runs, which is the second most runs they've scored this season in a game that doesn't go to extra innings. 10 hits, which is the second most they've had all season. No errors for the Astros defensively. Their defense, I thought their infield defensively was the best we've seen. So many great plays by Christian Walker at first base, and so many great defensive, plays and some dives and some throws that we saw from some of the infielders. Amazing plays by Jeremy Pena, Brennan Rodgers, and Isaac Paredes, the infielders for the Astros today, and Christian Walker, some of the plays he made at first base. The infield was spectacular today when Hunter Brown was out there in his 6 innings, and I was impressed. I was really impressed by those 4 infielders today, some of the plays they made defensively. It was unbelievable. And then also a season-high 7 walks, and one of the best games the Astros have had with runners in scoring position today. 4 for 13 with runners in scoring position. That is the best day the Astros have had with runners in scoring position. It's not a season high of hits with runners in scoring position. The season high before that was 4, but that was a game where the Astros went 4 for 15. So they did tie their season high in hits with runners in scoring position, but the last time they had 4 hits with runners in scoring position in a game, that was on Sunday, and they went 4 for 15. Today went 4 for 13. So, yeah. All right. Win goes to Lawrence. He's 1-0 on the year now. He pitched 3 innings, he had 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 0 strikeouts, 1 walk. The only reason why, they didn't win because of anything he did. They won because of Randy Arozarena. Loss goes to Abreu. He's 0-1, 0 only pitched 2/3 in the ninth. Walk off happened before he could get that third out. Gave it 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks. What Brian Abreu looked bad, but like I said, if the umpire makes the right call, we never be in that situation. But still, Brian Abreu gave up a lot of damage before and after the missed call. Scoring summary: the Astros were great offensively. It scored 3 runs in the second inning. Great base hits for the Astros in the second inning. You saw a single for Jake Myers to make it 1-0. RBI single for Cam Smith to make it 2-0. Infield single for Jose Altuve to make it 3-0. And then third inning, Brendan Rodgers has an RBI walk, which is the first RBI walk of the season. It's 4-0. It's the first lead of the season for the Astros where they're winning by more than 4 runs. Then that goes to 5 runs when Alvarez hits a sac fly to score Smith, and it's 5-0. And all of a sudden I'm thinking, because before the game, I did my Astros pregame or preview, and I was talking about how for this Astros team today, I wanted to see them win by 4 or more runs. Because if you look in their 5 wins so far this season, none of them are by 4 runs or more. And before today, they had not led a game by 4 or more runs. That changed today when they were up 5-0. So I was really happy when it was 5-0 in the 8th inning. I was thinking what I wanted this team to do today was going to happen, and then everything just fell apart in the next couple innings. 8th inning, grand slam. 9th inning, the Astros lead goes back to 2 when Pena scores on the wild pitch at 6-4. But then RBI double for Julio Rodriguez to make it 6-6 in the 9th inning, and then a walk for Rosarena, and the Mariners win the ball game 7-6. Altuve today went 2 for 5 today. Really good game for him to finish off this series. Had an RBI, infield single in the second inning, single in the 8th inning to get Cam Smith to second. Good day for Altuve. Isaac Paredes was amazing today. Great in the infield with some of the plays he made on the infield. Singled to right in the 4th inning, and a 8th inning infield single for him. Alvarez went 1 for 4 today. RBI in the 8th inning for the sac fly. It's his 8th of the year. Single to left to get Paredes to third in the 4th inning. Jordan went 1 for 4 today. Dubon came in late as a pinch runner. No, sorry, not a pinch runner. For defensive reasons. Christian Walker went 0 for 3 today. But I will say this: offensive did have his first 2 walks of the season. Christian Walker had like 55 walks last season, so this is his first 2 walks of the season on the 12th game of the year, and he had 2 walks in four spring training games. So it was about time Christian Walker got some walks. He had 2 today, scored 1 run, and was terrible at the plate outside of his walks. Struck out swinging in the second on a full count. Should have been a 3rd walk for Christian Walker. His first 3 at bats should have been walks. 6th inning grounded out to shortstop, and 8th inning flat out to left. But let's be honest, the Astros, who knows where they would have been if it wasn't for some of the plays he made at first base today. His defense at first base was phenomenal. Jeremy Pena went 2 for 4 today. Single to center in the 3rd inning, a walk in the 2nd inning, and a double to left in the 9th inning, and then obviously scored later on. He stole 3rd and then scored off the wild pitch. So great day by Jeremy Pena. Love to see it. Victor Caratini went 0 for 4 today. He walked in the 2nd inning and scored in that 2nd inning, and that was it for him. And then Brendan Rodgers went 0 for 3 today. He struck out at swinging his first at bat in the 2nd, but then had an RBI walk in the 3rd inning, a walk in the 5th inning, and that was it for him. 2 walks and an RBI for Rodgers today. 1 for 4 for Jake Myers. A single to right in the 2nd inning. He grounded into double play in the 3rd inning, and when the Astros really needed, I want to say the bases were loaded when Jake Myers hit the ground out. I know there were multiple runners on, though. And then a fielder's choice in the 5th inning that was an error by shortstop Crawford, and Brendan Rodgers was safe at second, and so was Jake Myers at first. And then Jake Myers had a 9th inning walk. He wasn't that bad today. Cam Smith yesterday was his first RBI. Yesterday was his first extra base hit. What does he do today? First multi-hit game for Cam Smith. Single to right for his second RBI when Caratini would score. Fly out to center in the 4th inning. Line out to center in the 5th inning. And a single to right in the 8th inning. And would score a run. 2 for 4 day for Cam Smith. Jas McCormick would come on to play, defensively, play right field. He had one at bat and lined out to third. Nice hit for Jas. Is really nice defensive play by their third baseman. Their third baseman at the time was Maspanoni. Jas McCormick then lined out to third in the 9th inning. But it was a solid hit. It was just a nice defensive play by their third baseman. Hunter Brown looked fantastic today, and it's disappointing they failed him with the day he had. 6 innings, 2 hit baseball, no earned runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. He looked like Framber Valdez out there with all the ground balls that the defense was getting today. It was unbelievable. I was surprising to see Hunter Brown go 6 innings against a team that strikes out pretty often. Only get 3 strikeouts, but there were a lot of ground balls and flyouts for Hunter Brown in his 6 innings of work. He looked phenomenal, and it's unfortunate that the team failed him today because instead of a no decision for Hunter Brown, this should be a second win for Hunter Brown on the season. It's very disappointing for him that the team failed him like they did today. Bennett Suosa pitched the beginning of the 7th inning, his first game pitch since 2023. He gave it 2 walks and a strikeout. Then Contreras came in and replaced him. He's back in the major league since Spencer Arrighetti broke his thumb, and he pitched the last 2 outs of the 7th inning, gave up 1 hit, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Steven Okert, all the earned runs off the Randy Arozarena home run went to Contreras. He didn't give up the grand slam. Steven Okert gave up the grand slam, only his second hit given up on the year, and his first earned run charge on the year. He did get a strikeout in his inning of work in the 8th inning. You're wondering why, Okert didn't get charged of the 4 earned runs, because the runners that were on base were because of Contreras. So Okert only got charged 1 earned run. His ERA is 1.59, even though he gave up the grand slam. And Brian Abreu pitched the 9th inning, and that was brutal. So, yeah, this was a bad game for the Astros team. And now that they're going back home, for most teams, I think that'd be good. But this Astros team cannot hit at home. So, and, you got a weird pitching rotation. I mean, Hayden Wesneski's going to be on the mound in the series against Los Angeles, so that's pretty solid with how good he's been. But Reynel Blanco's been pretty bad to start off the year, and he's going to open up the series. And then Ryan Gusto's making his first major league start. I think Ryan Gusto's been really good so far. He's only given up 1 earned run in 8 innings so far in his major league career, but this is going to be the first time we're seeing him at the starting level, so that will be interesting. But yeah. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros 6-7 loss. This was terrible, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out.